We are back. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with the always lovely and talented Andrea Kay. So, and the always incredible Urban MIR3.
He almost forgot me.
I know.
I caught that one.
You know, so you guys are so hard on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll bet everybody has pity for me too, huh?
Right.
Well, let's get right to it. We have our next in-studio guest. Welcome, Miss Ann Pickren from MIR3.
Well, thank you very much, and it's a good time to be with you, and I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Good. Well, MIR3 is a. Why don't you tell us what MIR3 is? What do you do, and maybe even how you came about the name?
Oh my goodness! Well, that's a good story. But first of all, what we do. We are in the business of important message delivery. So we are a technology-based company, and we provide a service to companies anywhere in size from, oh my goodness, I would say 250 employees up to hundreds of thousands. And they use our platform and our services to communicate either for business operational use or an emergency for their employees. So in a way, we're in health and safety, but in another sense, we're day-to-day operational environment, just to get important messages to them, no matter where they are and what device or way we can touch them. So ring their home phone, ring their cell phone, their work phone, send them an email, text them. We do it intelligently, so we don't try to stalk everyone, but the idea is to get that message to them and be able to respond to that message.
Well, you just tapped into Andrea. She's our local stalker, and now she can't use your service to stalk people. That's a bad thing.
No, it's against the rules. We don't allow that. But.
Well, how does your platform work? Because do you just have somebody who just sits on the phone calling people and texting them? Or
I don't have quite that many people, but one of the things that we do is through the years, we've built a platform that we have a lot of equipment sitting in data centers that do the automated dialing and then delivering either a recorded voice. So just as we're doing today, someone could record a message and then play that back to the individual when they answer their phone. Or we do text or speech, capabilities. So you type it in text. We convert it and deliver it, hopefully in not too much of a robotic voice, but we deliver that message to those individuals. So we allow both capabilities and allow people to create the personality of the delivery they're looking for to those people they're going to touch.
Interesting. I wish I had met you 15 years ago.
Would you set up this communication method for you between you and your children?
No.
What would you have done?
No, I don't need mass delivery to my children. I have a
your voice is loud enough.
My voice works. Okay.
You are from Philly.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, I am. So anyway, no. Back in the day, before they adapted over the Telephone Communications Protection Act of 1991. Okay, so this was roughly about 2000. We had a technology which was brand new in the market. It was voicemail broadcasting. We were building out for marketing purposes up to 20,000 calls an hour.
Yes.
Okay.
That's like some serious robocalling.
Yeah, well, back in the day, I had 10 T1 sitting in my office, okay,
Wow.
which is just crazy. And, I'm just glad that somebody figured out, how do I say this right? Somebody figured out how to use the technology for the purposes of good, not evil. Okay?
So true. And when you think about the technology today, the capabilities are massive. So, for instance, 2 weeks ago, we had a university in the Northeast that ran a test notification to just around 100,000 on campus, both employees, staff, and students. And they delivered that message in 2 minutes.
Wow.
So it's changed a lot. And you think about the just banks and banks of equipment that it takes to respond that quickly. But time is of the essence in many, many critical situations.
Yeah, I bet you're a key tool for a publicist or a spokesperson for a company, or even be used in a disaster preparedness or emergency plan.
The disaster preparedness has been a great market for us. We really focused a lot on that in the early going from 2001 when we were first founded. And that was a key market for us because there's a little bit of a regulatory side to that, as well as just the due diligence that people have in terms of communicating to their employees and key customers, et cetera. So it's a key market for us. It's grown a bit, and we've kind of branched out into more operational use for things like logistics and letting people know that deliveries are being delayed for critical types of things like pharmacies and things of that nature. But as well, it still is an everyday tool used to communicate for critical messages, no matter what those content may be.
I'm just thinking right now, product recalls. You don't happen to have Volkswagen's not a client for you.
I wouldn't mention them, but yes, you do. You see it in use for recalls of that nature. More important, the reason that happens is a lot of people can call out or leave a message for someone, but more importantly, you're trying to get that in contact to respond to you, to either say, yes, press 1 to connect me back to have my service call scheduled. So you'll see us use things like that. So the most important part that makes us different is the fact that we do that two-way. I can send you a message. I can ask you to respond so that we can take action off of it. Schedule an appointment, put you in a special contact group because you need help, post any major weather event or whatever that would be.
Interesting. You're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business here on KCBQ. Streaming live at am1170theanswer.com. Give us a tweet at CloseUpSD. Email me at barry@closeupsandiego.com or find our page on Facebook. We want to hear from you. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with Andrea Kay, Urban Miaris, and our guest is Miss Ann Pickren from MIR3. So when we were in the green room, you talked a little bit about the basis or the foundation of the company started out in the financial service arena or financial field. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I think the initial thought process and the development of the product, the thought was that it would be much more of a human resources employee safety concept of where it was going, and IT alerting as well. But what the company found is they hit in the perfect timing. If you go back in the early 2000s and you're dealing with some of the more dramatic events that were happening in companies like Chicago floods and the initial outages, fires in banks, whatever, the financial industry took some pretty tough regulations to bear following some of those events, and one of which was communicating to people in a timely manner. So what happened is the technology helped them solve a problem of a regulatory compliance side where they need to notify all of their employees in health and safety issues or critical communications to be able to take action on those. So that's really began the foundation. And then as that industry matured, you found others that came along through the years. So now I would say that it's widespread across most every vertical, from transportation to manufacturing, pharmaceuticals, healthcare. It's everywhere because it's a technology that applies for all types of businesses.
And you can use any medium, be it text, email, voice, you get people live, any technology.
Oh, and it changes every day, yes. So we start with ring their phone, whether it's their home phone, their work phone. But let's not stalk them, so let's do it with intelligence, know when to stop calling. Send an email, send a text message, send to specialized mobile apps. Take videos from cameras and then provide those in secure fashion so that you can distribute those to critical people to really assess what's going on the ground in a particular place and then take action.
Speaking of technology changing, I don't know how you stay on top of it. And I reached out to you to have you on the show because I'd read an article about you and how you just recently been promoted up to president. And the responsibility to be, the president of a company, particularly a technology company with it changing, how do you do it? Congratulations, by the way, on that.
Thank you. And a lot of thanks go to our CEO, Amir Mousavian, who really saw some talent in me. Hopefully I'll find it too, but one that would help us
search deep. I think it's there, though.
lead this company along the way. But, I think technology, I've grown up in technology. All of my career has been focused on that. And one of the key things you have to do is always be thinking outside the box of what's available today and stay savvy into developments of things that are going on. So I think that's so important so that we're thinking and reaching people because, the youth and the new professionals entering the market today communicate in an entirely different way than we communicate. And I tried to explain to someone the other day the thrill I had when I got my first pager.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm like, that was really a good thing when I realized how quickly they could get me no matter where I was, 24 hours a day. But now young professionals are living by their mobile devices, and it's a mobile platform and workforce along the way. So they think differently about communicating entirely on that device. And I think you'll see more and more technology changes. I just was reading an article yesterday about in critical communities using simply Bluetooth from one mobile phone to another, not even across the same network, how they create a network of communications in their own community. And some of those things, have to play into the technology to allow us to think ahead of where we need to go.
Interesting. I would love to hear from some of your engineers over there and see what's coming next in the technology world. Any secrets you can tell us?
Yeah, it's just us here.
Well, if they were secrets, but I think you'll need to look to see some of the things that we think capture real-time video and talking about taking advantage of some of the new technology that allows people to let's think specifically about some first responders, that you don't have to put people in a critical situation that risk their lives without having some assessment of that. So looking for technology to allow us to, stream some of that video real time to a command central and being able to do that over secure networks so that you can make good decisions.
Interesting.
It is fascinating.
So I brought this out in the beginning, and we didn't get to it, so let's do it before we're done here. Tell me about the name MIR3. Where does that come from?
We never got there, did we? MIR3 was a group of 3 individuals that had an idea back in 1999 that they wanted to build some type of communication. At that point in time, the thought was potentially to call out for appointments from doctor's appointments, etc. And they had a bit of investment money, and one of the things they were trying to do is bring that technology to market. 2 years into the process, our CEO had invested in that and saw the value of what they were doing and offered to basically, with his investors and backing, to buy that company from them. So they took that technology and tried to figure out what they wanted to do with it. The name of the company was MIR3.com when it was first founded in 1999, because there were 3 founders, of which one was a lady by the name of Amira. And so it was shortened, and so they had the name MIR3.com. When our CEO acquired the company, they asked to keep the name, and he agreed, we'll drop the .com, but we'll keep MIR3. So there is the foundation of the name.
Great. I like it.
Yeah, and it just brings me back to the point where we were both in the same market space when we started. You took the right direction, I took the wrong direction, and here we are.
You're all in communication still.
Yes.
So, well, that's great. Tell us, if people want to find out, actually, before I do this, tell us a little bit more about who your target market is. Who really works with MIR3?
MIR3 companies can be primarily organizations, let's say 250 to 500 employees or better. I would say our sweet spot really is 1,000 or better, although you see it grow. They are Fortune 1000, Fortune 100. They are global in nature because the challenges of communications go around the globe. And they're trying to solve a critical problem. It may be because of technology that they need to communicate. I have customers that need to notify their customers when, for instance, they're card servicing or card processing group. So when they have any type of outage, they need to notify their customers. Logistics, healthcare, hospitals use us for call-outs for shift schedules. So our market tends to be in through technology, human resources, or the business continuity, disaster recovery side of businesses. So a little bit of everything.
You should get the Department of Veterans Affairs. I really do, to let veterans know what's going on a regular basis.
Good idea.
I think you might want to visit our website. You might find that logo there.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
How nice.
Okay.
So.
Well, we are running short on time. Tell our listeners how they find out more about MIR3, how they can get in touch with you if they have questions.
Excellent. If you reach out on the internet to www.mir3.com, MIR3, that's MIR3.com. You'll be able to find out all about us. You'll be able to contact us. You can actually practice and use some of our technology. Send yourself a message. Sign up for a free demonstration. So you can just join a group who's doing an online web-based meeting. And you can also contact us directly by dialing 858-724-1200 here in San Diego.
Great. Well, this is wonderful. Love the interview. Takes me back to some of my more painful days, but that's okay.
Well, thank you very much for having me here and making this a very pleasant experience for all of you. Thank you.
Great. Thanks so much.
Great. This is Close Up on San Diego Business here on KCBQ, streaming live at AM1170theanswer.com. Send us a tweet at CloseUpSD or just find our page on Facebook. You can always email me at barry@closeupsandiego.com. Let me know what you think. I'm your host, Barry Waxler. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Be sure to follow Close Up on San Diego Business on Twitter at Close Up on SD and follow them on Facebook by liking their fan page at Close Up on San Diego Business.